Hello, teachers. In this presentation, we discuss teaching and assessment strategies for divisibility. Divisibility is a skill used in many different concepts throughout the year and is really helpful to promote number sense in our students. Factors and divisibility are important concepts for the Department of Education. You can see here in grade 4, quarter 2, in the list of the most essential learning competencies, there is identifies factors of a given number up to 100, also identifies the multiples of a given number up to 100, and differentiate primes from composite numbers. Same is true for grade 5, quarter 1. It is important that students use divisibility rules for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 11 to find common factors. Students are also expected to solve routine and non-routine problems involving factors, multiples, and divisibility rules. They're also expected to find common factors and the greatest common factor of 2 to 4 numbers using continuous division. The divisibility rules will hopefully help students to be less dependent on calculator and to be able to solve problems very quickly. So the divisibility rule for number 2 is that a number is divisible by 2 when the units digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. A number is divisible by 3 when the sum of its digit is divisible by 3, divisible by 5 if the unit's digit is 0 or 5. It's divisible by 6 when it is divisible by 2, also divisible by 3. And the number is divisible by 9 when the sum of its digit is divisible by 9. Other divisibility rules are: a number is divisible by 4 when the number formed by the last two digits is divisible by 4. For 8, a number is divisible by 8 when the number formed by the last three digits is divisible by 8. On the other hand, a number is divisible by 11 when the alternate sum and difference of the digit is divisible by 11. And then you also have the divisibility test for 13. So we expect our students to know these divisibility rules, no? We have created some games that our students can play to make learning divisibility and factors more exciting. They can choose which rules they want to practice and then either play for mastery or speed or just for practice. In the divisibility game, players can choose the divisor, for example, 3, 6, and 9, and the number of items, for example, 9 items. Now, children select numbers that are divisible by the divisor. For example, click on all numbers divisible by 3, by 6, by 9, and also numbers that are divisible by both 6 and 9. It turns out that among the 9 numbers listed here, only 882 and 306 are divisible by 6 and also by 9. We expect our students to make use of the divisibility test to be able to play the game. Because we missed one item, our score is just 35 instead of the highest score, which is 36. The app will help children practice using the divisibility test. For an added challenge, players may also play with 4-digit numbers and other divisors too. For example, 2, 4, or 8. So click on all numbers divisible by 4, and these are the numbers 5,792, 2,720, 4,760, and 4,832. Using the divisibility test by 4, the last two digits must be divisible by 4. For an added challenge, players may also play with more numbers. So instead of just playing with 9 or 12, players may also choose to play with 16 numbers. So here we wanted to click on all numbers divisible by 8. Another game is the factors game. This app would help children remember factors of a number. So we select a number, then click enter. For example, if we choose 12, then we click all the factors of 12. Now, because we missed the number 2, you have 2 added to the missed points. If you choose 18, then you select all proper factors of 18. For example, you choose 9 and you choose 15. Because 15 is not a factor of 18, 15 has been added in the missed point. So children must strategize to reach a high score. For an added challenge, play with numbers mixed up and with time limit too. So players may also choose to play within 1 minute, within 2 minutes, or the players may also play with unlimited time. For an added challenge, players may also choose to play with more numbers, like numbers from 1 to 50. So we select all of its factors, then click enter. As formative assessment, you can just let your students play and have fun with the games. Since it's difficult to require them to send you a screenshot of their games, just ask them to record the levels they have played. They may record the levels they played and the scores in a table each day. Summative assessments and performance tasks are given at the end of a lesson or a quarter. The students must be able to show application of knowledge. The task should not be limited to a single correct answer. And the task should demonstrate learning through transfer to new situation. Here I will give you some suggestions of activities and tasks for students. Sample activities and tasks are as follows. For example, 1, we shade all boxes with numbers divisible by 3. So we use the divisibility test for 3. That should be the sum of the digit must be divisible by 3. So some of these numbers are 18, 27, and 30. But there are still other numbers. So like 42, 24, 36, and 75. Okay, and then let students shade all numbers divisible by 3. As you can see, we can form a letter A. A sample task that can be given for a longer period of time is for students to create a puzzle by filling up the grid with 2-digit numbers so that the numbers in the shaded squares are divisible by 6 and the numbers in all other squares are not. No? So we just have to remind our students that they make sure that the numbers are arranged randomly. Another variation to this task would be numbers in the shaded squares are divisible by 3, 4, 5, or 7. Another task is to ask your student to create a puzzle by designing their own image. For example, they draw an arrow, an animal, or any object. so that when players shade the correct squares with numbers divisible by, for example, 6, they will end up with the image. And then another variation would be numbers in the shaded squares are divisible by either 3, 4, 5, or 7. Variation to the sample tasks are as follows. Learners may increase the size of the grid. It could be 8 by 8, 9 by 9, 10 by 10, or larger. You may also allow them to use a mixture of 1 or 2-digit numbers or even 3-digit numbers. Repetition of numbers may be allowed, especially for bigger grids. No? A teacher may impose a theme for the images, such as, for example, you require them to use only animals or letters of the alphabet. And then another suggestion is to require the students to come up with 3 or more grids, okay? And then you can ask them, okay, that these grids must follow a story or a situation. At the end of the task, you may ask your students to reflect on the task, no? How did you choose the numbers to be placed on the grids? When choosing numbers that are divisible by 6, okay, how did you choose the numbers? What are the difficulties encountered when choosing the numbers? Explain. What did you learn from the task? Another sample activity is fill in the blanks. Fill in the blank so that the 4-digit number is divisible by 9. So a solution to the given problems are as follows. However, for the third problem, there may be other solution. The hundredths digit may also be a 9 because 3 plus 9 is 12, plus 7 is 19, plus 8 is 27. So the sum of the digit is divisible by 9. So you can easily check that 3,978 is also divisible by 9. The last problem also has another solution. The entry in the 10th digit can also be a 0 because 1 plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 9, a number divisible by 9. And one can easily check that 1,305 is divisible by 9. Another sample task would be some more difficult problems, such as problems that appear in competition. So one example would be a number in the 2020 MMC elimination round. The 4-digit number 2 blank 9 blank is divisible by both 9 and 4. What are the possible values of the missing digits? Another problem which appeared in the 2019 National Finals of MMC oral competition, if the 9-digit number blank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blank is divisible by 45, determine all possible values of A and B. Based on this example, we have the following sample task. No? So one would be, given that you've learned about divisibility, find digits A and B in the number below so that the following conditions are true. We require our students to show all of their work. The requirement is for this 6-digit number to be divisible by 8, divisible by 9, and digit A cannot be the same as digit B. We wanted our students to explain the steps followed to solve the problem. Another sample task would be, how many ways are there to arrange 4 trees and 2 5s into a 6-digit number divisible by 11. We expect our students to use the divisibility test by 11. We wanted our students to explain the steps they followed to solve the problem. Another sample task: how many 4-digit numbers can be formed using 4 numbers from the numbers 0, 1, 2, 5, and 9 with no repetition, such that the number formed is divisible by 6, and then require the students to explain the steps they followed to solve the problem. So these are just some sample tasks related to divisibility and looking for factors of a number. Sample rubric for this task would be: you give a student up 1 point when they fail to answer the problem correctly. You give a student 3 points if they were able to answer the problem correctly and they were able to describe some steps and show awareness of the importance of divisibility rules. However, it is unclear how the rules are applied. You give the students a perfect score when the answer to the problem is correct and the student uses the divisibility test to solve the problem. Moreover, the students were able to clearly and completely describe all the steps, including the use of the divisibility rules. So this is just a sample rubric for the task I just mentioned. So these are just sample activities and assessment tasks. Of course, you may have other ideas. So to know more about our apps, check us out at mathplusresources.wordpress.com. We also have a Facebook page. We also have a YouTube. So we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can send us an email through the following email address. Thank you very much.